Okay, I'm back, and if this is the first video that you've watched, I've been talking about just being grateful from the perspective of being grateful and grateful for where I've come from. I know many of you are watching this like, this girl is just too young to be talking about the kind of stuff that she's talking about, but I would like to say I'm kind of what most people would call, or my grandmother would call, or older people around me would call an old soul. A lot of my friends, people that I value having conversation with, are elder people. People that have been somewhere. People that know about how to survive and how to overcome. And it just basically encourages me to continue. So I want to talk about one particular program that I just finished watching. I stayed up all night watching this, and I was just in heaven, just being in awe of these people. The program that I'm talking about is called Say Amen Somebody. There are many people on YouTube that have posted up clips, and I know about the copyright, and I just pray it's really not in a violation of anything. I really just pray, because it's just unfortunate that these programs are not always accessible to us. And so I thank God for those of you all who posted clips from Say Amen Somebody on YouTube, so that people like me, who don't own that kind of footage and who did not benefit from actually being there in person to participate in that kind of thing, can really just gain from the richness of that experience. And so for those of you all who don't know, Say Amen Somebody is basically like a biography, or trying to think of the word. It journals their life, kind of follows their life, a biography of their life, just letting the viewers know what they went through in order to be who they were. And these are what I guess I would call the legends, or the founding fathers and mothers in gospel music. People like Professor Thomas Dorsey, people like Mother Willie Mae Ford Smith, people like the O'Neill twins, the Barrett sisters, Zella Price, I believe her name is. And a lot of this is music that we have all been influenced by, but we just really don't appreciate it. And so it really got me to thinking about just the people, because I didn't have the pleasure of knowing those individuals, but it really got me thinking about the people that have contributed into my life. That list is so extensive already that I can't even begin to name people that have directly and indirectly influenced who I am. But I just encourage you to just visit your own history. Know where you came from. Know where you came from. So I want to give honor today, because I had the opportunity to be born and reared for much of my life, even for about 17, 18 years of my life, in the Baptist church. Many of you might be surprised by that, because yes, I am a tongue-talking, amen, Bible quoting, demon chasing, preaching, Pentecostal, apostolic, kingdom-minded preacher. But I had my roots in the Baptist church. Little bitty old church that in its day did some wonderful things. Was founded after the Emancipation Proclamation, about 1817, somewhere in that. I'm still a little rusty on my history, but founded in that time period in a very rural, harvesting, planting type of community, sugarcane fields and just fields all around, actually on land that was owned by I guess the people that own that farmland. My mother and father still go to that church. My grandmother and my grandfather still go to the church. My great-grandmother went to that church. And it just goes back and back and back, as far as I can remember, and as far as they can remember too. I'm very grateful, because we had stuff like junior choir, and I've talked about it, and I probably won't ever stop talking about it, because it's a part of who I am. We had Easter plays and Christmas plays, and I've not gotten so modern in my thinking and in my embracing of theological concepts that I cannot value what contributions they made in my life. My spiritual grandfather, hey, you know who you are if you're watching this. I only got one. My spiritual grandfather is a man of God that I will always honor, because when I was called to preach as a young teenager, and I went into that office, and I told him, just scared as I could be, that God had called me. He looked in my eyes and he said, "Daughter, I already knew that." He said, "You preach the word." He didn't tell me that I wasn't old enough. He didn't. I'm getting emotional. That is worth getting emotional over, because so many of my colleagues in ministry have gone through so many bitter experiences where people have just literally discredited them to their face. And so this man of God, he told his friends and colleagues in that area, he said, "This is my daughter. She's been called to preach. If she can't preach in your pulpit, then I won't either. I'll come back with more after that."